Right, here's an example of a question where you can make an equation. We've got a little farmer, he's got some chickens and he's got some sheep. And the total number of animals he's got is 16. And the total number of legs that he's got is 36, if he counts all the legs of his animals, not including himself. And how are you going to work out how many chickens and how many sheep does he have? You could sort of work out, starting somewhere in the middle, 10 chicken, 10 sheep, and if you do that, you're showing E-level points or even possibly C-level points. But be able to get A-level points, you're supposed to be able to try and represent this as an equation. And we've got two equations here, we're going to get two equations. What do we know? Well, let's call chicken C, and let's call sheep S, to make it simple. What do we know? That we know that if we add up the number of chickens that we've got, and the number of sheep that we've got 16 animals in total. But we also know that a chicken has 2 legs. So if we add up 2 times the number of chickens, and we know that a sheep has 4 legs, plus 4 times the number of sheep. So in this equation here, we're talking animals. But in this equation here, we're talking number of legs. We have 36 legs. So now we have two equations, and we can take the times away there. We just call it 2c. So if we're talking number of legs, we've got 2c plus 4s equals 36. And we have c plus s equals 16. And because we have two equations and two unknowns, it's easy to solve using our algebra skills. And there's two different ways, and I'll show you both ways. There's the Swedish way, and there's the English way. The Swedish way is to change this. We'd take C and try and get it on its own by the left-hand side by subtracting S from both sides. So we'd get S minus S here, and we'd get equals 16 minus S. So we now know that C is the same as 16 minus S. It doesn't help us very much, does it? It doesn't look at it. But if we put, wherever we see C, we put 16 minus S instead. In this equation, we then only have S's, so we sort of got rid of the C's. So wherever we see C, which we see one here, we put in 2 times C. We know that C is the same as 16 minus S. We can take the times away there and just put the bracket in. 2 lots of C plus 4 lots of S equal 36. Now, in this equation, we've only got S's. So now we have one equation with one unknown. So if we expand the brackets out like I showed you yesterday, it's really easy to solve. 2 times 16 is 32. 2 times minus S is minus 2S. 4 S's equal 36. 4S minus 2S is 2S. So we get 2S plus 32 equals 36. Let's take away 32 from both sides. Minus 32 from both sides. It gives us 2s equals 36 minus 32. And 32 minus 32 gives us 0 there. So it gives us that 2s equals 4. If 2 lots of s equals 4, then s equals 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So now I know that I have 2 sheep. Because S was the same thing as sheep. Okay, if I've got 2 sheep, how many chickens have I got? Well, I know that chickens plus sheep equals 16. 14 plus 2 equals 16. So the number of chickens I have must be 14. Am I finished? No. Now I've got to do this final check, because if I've done everything right, I should be able to check that their number of legs is right. If I take 2 sheep with 4 legs, assuming all our sheep have 4 legs, and I add my 14 chickens with 2 legs, I should get 36. 2 4s are 8. 14 times 2 is 28. 8 plus 28 is 36. Yes, so my check is correct. So this is the Swedish way of manipulating equations. You reorganize so you get one of your things by themselves. So C equals 16 minus S. And then you just change that c. Wherever you see c, you put in this new expression in this equation, and then you simplify it out and expand it. Sometimes that's the easiest method. Let's look at the British way then, or the way that I learned. You'd look at what you can do here. I would like to be able to cancel one of these out. And I can't cancel something out at the moment because I've got 2c down here and I've only got 1c up there. I've got 1s up there and 4 down here, so I can't cancel it. But I can if I multiply the whole of this equation by the number 2. Imagine me taking all these numbers and doubling them. Here I'd get 2c, here I'd get 2s, and here I'd get 2 times 16, which would give me 32. Now I have a 2c there and a 2c there, which is really rather nice. Okay, so let's do that. Let's move this equation down here. We have 2c plus 2s equals 32. The reason that I move this equation, it doesn't matter whether it's on the top or the bottom, it just makes it easier, it makes me not get lots of negative numbers. Because here I've got 4s minus 2s. What I can do now is I do a big subtraction. And I keep all of these columns by themselves. And I say, what's 2c take away 2c? 0. That's what I wanted. I've got rid of the c now. What is 4s minus 2s? It gives me 2s. So this one is 0, I can ignore it. So 4s minus 2s is 2s. 36 minus 32 is 4. So here I get 2s equals 4 in one step instead of all of this working out. So I know that 2 lots of sheep is 4, so my number of sheep is 4 divided by 2 equals 2. So now I know my number of sheep is 2, I know my number of chickens must be 4. So this is the English way of doing it, where you sort of get the numbers that are the same under each other, like numbers, manipulate. Here we had c plus s equals 16. We manipulated this one by multiplying the whole thing by 2 and putting it down here, then doing the subtraction. So it keeps things separate. So that's a way where we can make our own equations, solve our own equations using good algebra skills, and get A quality points for doing it in a mathematically effective way.